With fans calling out AEW and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Speaking about the passing of his ex-wife last year, Alberto El Patron said on Twitter and Sportskeeda, "It is with pain in my heart and with a torn soul that I officially confirm the unexpected and unfortunate death of Angela Velke, mother of my 3 children. Angela was an exceptional human being and an exemplary mother to my 3 children. I thank each and everyone who went to donate blood and platelets, to the media that spread the word so that more people could go to help us, and the whole family that is present for my children in this very difficult moment in their short lives." Angela passed away this past Saturday, April 30th of 2022, and fought with all his might until his last second in this world. Today she rests with God and is watching over Sophia, Stephanie, and Joseph from heaven. Angela, you were my wife for many years, the mother of my children, my best friend, advisor, and you were there for me. In many moments where the world turned its back on me, with words of encouragement and a sincere hug, thank you so much, Angela. We miss you like you have no idea, but I swear to you that our children will grow up to be good men and women like you always asked me to. Dad will be here for them. Rest in peace. In this world, you were always my angel, and so I always let you know. Now you truly become an angel watching over us from heaven. You will always be my angel, our angel. We love you, Angela. Thanks for being you. I'm gonna miss her for the rest of my life, but I know she's happy in heaven because we are doing good, and her kids are doing fantastic because I'm fulfilling the promise I made to her when I grabbed her hand and I heard her last words in this life, which were, "Take care of our children. I love you, Alberto." Those were her last words, and I'm fulfilling my word of taking care of our children and living a happy life, a happy, clean, beautiful, amazing life. Revealing the initial plans for Kofi Kingston's WWE title reign, former writer for the company Dave Schilling told In the Weeds, "I was there in 2019. I was on the home team on SmackDown. The thing that we were the most concerned with and most involved with was Kofi Mania. That was a storyline that traded on a lot of attitudes about race and ideas about who should or shouldn't be the champion. I never felt like that storyline was disrespectful. I never felt that storyline was treated in a way where Kofi came off as a token champion. That was a great storyline, and I'm very proud of the small part I had to play in that. We can debate how it turned out in the end when he lost to Brock Lesnar, which I found out about in April. We were talking about the plan is first SmackDown on Fox. Brock is going to come in and win the title, and it's going to be a quick match. That's exactly what happened after I left. That's the way it turned out. The writers in the room with me were always incredibly aware of what we were doing and why it was important." In San Diego at the Padres game, Rey Mysterio received a custom jersey and glove. Here's the video.
Oh my God. Look at that. Look at you. Mira, vamos a jugar, ¿o no? Ya lo he visto. Me retiro de la lucha, ¿eh? Oh, qué buena onda. Me sacaron una pelota. Wow. Un poco aquí, un poco aquí. Uno, dos, tres. La pelota, la foto.
On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T spoke about a possible match between Wardlow and Goldberg. No, not for me. It's great on paper. It's something I could see headlining the marquee. I could see that. But I'm talking about what could happen in an actual match between Wardlow and Goldberg. That could be a disaster. A total and complete disaster. I would not recommend this match. Posting a photo of Wardlow making an appearance, a user wrote, "When they give your Goldberg push to a guy with half of your muscles who fights with his hands in his pockets." Brad Shepard responded, "A source confirmed to me that Wardlow charges 5 figures for a convention appearance. AEW pretty wild when you look at his line or lack thereof." Speaking about Wardlow on his podcast, Arn Anderson said, "That guy's got so much potential, so much talent. He's such a class act. He's focused. He carries himself like a professional. He does everything right. He's just been getting some bad advice from day one. Bad guidance. In this business, when that locker room sees a guy that's got unlimited potential, the claws come out. They try to shut him down before he ever gets rolling in all kinds of political ways and physical ways." Talking about having a new World Heavyweight Champion in WWE, Corey Graves noted on After the Bell, "I think it's exciting to have that championship back because it gives Raw and SmackDown both the opportunity to identify themselves as separate, strong, complete brands. But with the introduction or reintroduction of the World Heavyweight Championship comes an epic workload. Until somebody beats Roman Reigns, there will always be a perception that any other champion, any other superstar is slightly less than. So the onus is on whoever becomes World Heavyweight Champion at Night of Champions to put in the work." Staying on the topic of Roman Reigns' title run, Jim Valley wrote, "The introduction of the new WWE World Heavyweight title says to me that Roman Reigns is going to be champion much longer than 1,000 days. I think Roman might be poised to surpass Hulk Hogan's first title reign." Andrew Zarian noted, "I will be touching on this on WOL. I have been told numerous times that WWE wants to update its history books and needs longer title reigns. Pun intended." Giving an update on the draft, Ringside News wrote, "The 2023 WWE draft is halfway over, but Vince McMahon's fingerprints are not apparent yet. We are told that either the decisions were discussed with Vince a long time in advance, or there were no major changes from him. Stay tuned for Raw on Monday to see how it all turns out." Speaking of the draft, this was said about Bray Wyatt's status, as Steve Carrier wrote. "Bray Wyatt is not in the draft pool for the 2023 WWE draft. He also hasn't been seen since the road to WrestleMania." Ringside News reached out to confirm Bray Wyatt's status to see if there are any signs of his return. We were told that his in-ring status has not changed. Talking about the situation with Rick Steiner making insulting remarks to a transgender pro wrestler at WrestleCon, Kevin Nash said on Click This, "I wanted to get this out because a lot of people they have these, they don't have, they don't think. And there's nobody that is close to us that I knew for over probably 30 years as a male, and they have went in and had the full Monty. They prefer to be called she, and I asked because it's just really hard for me to fathom that to make that decision, especially that late in life. And so I knew that it had to be something traumatic. I said to her, you don't have to say anything. You don't owe me an explanation. I don't expect one. I said, I just want to know how the thought process brought you to this place so late in life. And he had lost his wife to cancer. But there was always talk that he wore women's lingerie and women's underwear and stuff like that underneath his clothes. But he always was like a truck driver and had like a blue collar job. We're a pretty non-judgment crew at my crib. And he told me that when he was young, like 5 to 10, those years, that he was raped and victimized repetitively by 3 males that were either an uncle, a brother, cousin, whatever it was, and that was when his wife passed. He just didn't want to ever see another penis, including on himself, and he went through the transformation. And you think about how sad that is, and it's like, before you judge, you've got to take that. And I'm as guilty as everybody. I jump to my BS because I'm always right conclusions, and there's a lot of that goes in this world that's effed up. And at 50 years old, if that move takes an ounce that pain away, then F yes. And if he walks by somebody, they don't have a right to say shh to him. For an interview with the MMA Hour, John Morrison talked about AEW stars where he revealed, like Ray Phoenix and Pentagon I'm really close to. Phoenix was a groomsman at our wedding. Eddie Kingston, yeah, there's so many guys. I've always been a huge fan of Mox. Jake Hager clearly was at the fight. Jericho name dropped Jericho in my diss track on Harley, but I got along with him at WWE. Max Caster, grown to like over our mutual love for diss tracks and freestyle rapping, although he's way better than me. Mark Henry. Usually, the roster at every wrestling show is pretty damn good. I'm a pro wrestler and have a lot in common with other pro wrestlers, and I like being in the locker room of guys like that. Taking to Twitter, Britt Baker would post pictures of a new shirt available on AEW shop, which shows her with a black eye. She wrote, "Okay, I'm done for the night. Don't forget to buy the latest and greatest shirt of yours truly, the baddest bitch on the block. Makes even the worst humans look great, as seen below. Joke's on you, outcasts." Many fans would reply, some calling out AEW as they wrote, "AEW, need to think about this shirt for a second, then take it down. You just exposing how bad AEW is and making shirts. You were literally the biggest moron on earth." I'm sorry, Britt, but I don't think anyone would feel comfortable wearing that. Okay, neutral fan here, I swear. Show this to my wife, who is a non-wrestling fan. Didn't know her or the backstory. I asked what would think if you saw this worn in public. Her response, "I would think the domestic violence phone number would be on the back." So many bad faith arguments in that thread. People should have just said, "I don't like Britt Baker or AEW," instead of trying to act like they have a moral objection to the shirt. Britt Baker, proof that being educated isn't the same as being intelligent. Her responses to people on this matter make her look dumber too, like she really didn't understand and can't craft a decent argument. AEW and Britt aren't big enough to pull this off. More people see what looks like police evidence of a beaten woman than Britt, especially since without hours in the makeup chair, it doesn't even look like Britt Baker. It's an L all around. There's nothing about this shirt that can be defended. There's the domestic abuse argument, which is reasonable. Then there's the lack of context. There's also the fact that it looks like a generic iron-on shirt, which makes the price unreasonable. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.